rights are under attack, what do we do? When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do? When migrant rights are under attack, what do we do? When trans rights are under attack, what do we do? When pension rights are under attack, what do we do? When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Keep fighting, see you next year.
All right, and welcome to Rally on the Square on your screens. Hello, I'm Leonie, give us a wave. Woo! We've got a host of brilliant speakers and performers today, and I am going to try and host you through the whole thing because we've never done this before, but there's a first time for everything, isn't there? All right, I'm Leonie, I'm your host. Let's get cracking. The first thing I'm going to show you before we do some house rules is a quick video about Reclaim the Agenda. So watch this first, and I'll see you in 90 seconds. To do, which is important. My dog just walked into the kitchen. I'm going to have to let him out for a wee sometimes, but I guess that's going to happen in all your houses, right? House rules. When you're talking, you need to keep it family friendly. So watch your mouth, bitches. All right? Number two, you have to keep an eye on the time. You have to try and keep this to an hour before the speeches start at 12. So if I start holding up a clock, it means you have to allow the next speaker to come in. So this is your symbol if you're talking too long. We want you to talk, but keep an eye on the time. And the next rule is, don't be shy about waving those placards. Flag it on. And the other rule is, if I tell you to do something, you should probably do it. Like, not for the rest of your lives, just for the next hour. It won't be anything weird, I promise, okay? And here, I'm gonna show you a quick scan around my kitchen. Over there, can you see? The laptop's out of the way. I got a new power tool. Feminism is working because I went back to college and studied woodwork. I did woodwork when I was, 9 years old for 10 minutes at a summer camp, and I never got to do it again because I went to an all-girls convent school. And now I've gone back and studied joinery, and I've had a really positive experience. So thank you to the feminist movement. I think it's working. So speaking of tools, I have one quick challenge for you before we start with our first speaker. I want you to go to your house, run around your house because we're at home today, go and pick up your favorite tool, and we're going to show it to the screen. Whatever that tool is, it can be for anything. It can be from your kitchen, it can be from your art room, whatever your favorite tool is, let's go get it and show it. I'm gonna get mine. You've got 15 seconds to go find your favorite tool. An electric sander is mine. Let's see what else you've got. Let's see what's up here. What do I see? What is that? Linda, what are you holding up? That's a lamp. Oh yeah, power drill. A spoon. That's a good one. What else have we got? Markers. Color and pencils. I two. I love them. What else have we got? I can't tell what some of these things. I see a paintbrush. What else do I see? Oh, I see a cheap pen. Someone else is getting. What else have we got here? I've got more pages to flick through. Let me see what else. Oh, I've got one of those too, Karen Sweeney. Silicone gun. They rock, don't they? They absolutely rock. Who else? What else we got? Someone's got a coffee pot. That is an excellent tool. Yes, well done, Elaine Corey. What else have we got around here? Geraldine's got a wine opener. Obviously the best tool in the house, isn't it? What else have we got here? Let me see. That's it. I can see. That's good. That's good. Someone's holding up many screwdrivers. Siobhan Harding. Nice. Danielle, what have you got?
I've got a screwdriver as well. I wanted to get a hammer to smash the patriarchy, but I'll just dismantle it with the screwdriver instead.
Can't be fixed when you've got the right tools for the job. It's all about the right tools for the job, even if that tool is your voice. So let's hear some voices. I'm going to introduce you to your first speaker. You've just met her. It's Danielle Roberts. She works for Here NI, and she's the chair of RTA. I said RTE, the Irish TV station. We don't want them. We don't want RTE. We want RTA. Here's Danielle Roberts.
Hello, everybody. Happy International Women's Day. I know. Yeah, we finished with the countdown with me saying, yeah, keep fighting. See you next year. And here we are next year. Completely different, but we're still here and we're still fighting. And we've had a lot of wins as well. I've got I see Eileen's got the same t-shirt on as me. I've got my Ulster Says Now t-shirt on. And yeah, we've got some form of abortion services have come in. We've got the first same-sex marriages have happened. So yeah, there's been some major developments in the past year, as well as major challenges. So we picked our theme of the new phenomenal because we didn't want to go back to normal. There's been lots of talk about the new normal, and that wasn't ever really good enough. We also, as usual, we're a bit contrary, so we don't tend to use the international theme. The international theme is choose to challenge, but we don't choose to challenge. We've got no choice but to challenge. And so there's lots of challenging going on in all the squares on my screen. All of you are working in your own ways to make our society better. And so we want to take some time to celebrate the phenomenal women who have kept us going during this pandemic. So the women in healthcare services, in homeschooling, all the activists driving change, all the women essential and key workers, all the carers. So we know that women are working both inside and outside the home to keep things going and to keep things pushing forward. And so we want to celebrate all the phenomenal women today who are working for a new phenomenal. And if we, Leonie's showing off her jumper there, standing all on and all. And that is, it is something that I do, whether I'm at Women's Policy Group, whether I'm the Feminist Recovery Plan, or just looking at the things that our family group are doing and how they are, the Here and I family group, and how the parents are coping with homeschooling and working from home and juggling or having to go to work still and working in very challenging environments. So I don't think, I'm not going to be chanting the same way as I was last year, because yeah, if we tried to do that, it would just be a cacophony. So, but I'm really looking forward to hear what I've got, what you've got coming up on the agenda. I know we've got some people going to talk about banners, going to talk about the work that they're doing. We'll maybe see, for those of you that got kids packs, maybe we'll see some colouring in later on. So that'd be great to see what you're all getting up to. And I'm going to stop before I get a clock held up, because I know Leonie's going to be quite strict keeping people the time. So brilliant to see everybody, and happy International Women's Day.
Nice one, Danielle. This is the thing, it's like sign language. We can't hear you applause, but we can see you wave, so it's visual. We can't hear you chant, but we can see you chant, and it is great that we're all here today, and it is great that we're together, and it's great that we're connecting and fighting the good fight. And up the women! Up the women! Yeah, brilliant. Here, next up, this is a treat. I'm very excited to hear what Nandi Jola, Am I saying your name right? Nandi. Do I pronounce your surname Jola?
Jola.
Jola. Let's hear it from Nandi Jola. Come away.
Hello, Molweni. You know what? I'm just going to take a minute and I'm just going to go outside and wake up all my neighbors with this vuvuzela. Happy International Women's Day. And I have a cowbell on around my neck. And I'm going to go to the shop and later on, and I'm going to keep making noise. So, Amanda, Gawetu, Gamala Makosikazi, Malibongwe. This is the song from South Africa that says that you strike upon a woman, you strike upon a rock. Gamala Makosikazi, Malibongwe, Malibongwe. So I'm going to open up with my poem, Resistance. I see you, the tear on your brow, hips full of swings, gas between your teeth. You come here, year after year, to this pilgrimage, lining the streets of Belfast. Then the chant starts, the drum beat, 1, 2, 1, 2. Your feet begin to twitch like child soldiers, gasping. Days like that will return again, you know, like a bird song. Once Mother Nature awakens, so will our grasp of this planet. And with that, I just want to wish you happy International Women's Day 2021. And I still have my old t-shirt that says, repeal, unite for repeal. And once again, Amanda!
Amanda!
Thank you.
Give it up for Nandi Jola! I love that. I love that. You hit upon a woman and you hit upon a rock. I hit my face on a rock when I was 7 years old, and I did that, and it's still there. So yeah, don't do that. Right, who's next? Oh yeah, this is good. Frances Crick. Are you there, Frances Crick? And yes, there she is. She's waving. And Eileen Weir. Are you there as well? Frances Crick.
I'm definitely here.
She is.
Oh my God, it's Eileen Weir.
It's Eileen Weir and Frances Crick. You're going to tell us, I want to hear about the tie banner. I want to hear about the tie that you made out of men's ties.
Yeah. Well, a few years ago, we thought we'd do something for International Women's Day. And, you know, we live up the North Coast. We're all disparate. We're all over the place. And we thought, oh, we'll make a banner. Yeah. And we went through the usual things of, we'll make it with paint. We'll do this, we'll do that. And I realized, you know, this is going to be like the year 2024 by the time we get this thing done, if everybody does what they say. And I realized men's ties, God, you know, I have piles of them because I love material and they're such beautiful material. And other people had ties that meant something to them. And we thought, how brilliant, they make just great letters. So they do, you know, and these are the ties. You can see behind me.
Yeah.
All these fabulous ties. And then because we are phenomenal, we are like, you know, a wave of women. Joan did this a marvelous kind of wave of the North Coast women. And then I looked up about ties and I realized that ties are kind of really pretty contentious because they're supposed to represent the cod piece from the 1500s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they direct your gaze downwards. Donald Trump is really well known for wearing a very long red tie that hung over his paunch. Everybody thought that was a bit strange, but also in the early 1800s, men in New York and Philadelphia who were prostitutes would always wear a red tie, and it was like their banner. And I found all these things out afterwards. Then just recently, in the last few weeks in New Zealand, they they had a check to see that they want to keep the tie on or formal kind of wear. You know, it's New Zealand, it's nice weather most of the time. People can arrive in shorts. They decided to keep the tie, and some of the Maori MPs arrived in wearing their traditional string and stone insignia instead of a tie, and they got the whole thing reversed. They got it reversed. So the men don't have to wear. Nobody has to wear a tie, but they can if they want. So that's ties for you. And this banner is really good because, you know, we're not, you know, exclusive. I mean, if men wanted to use it, all they need to do is have somebody standing there, and look, it's North Coast men.
Oh, brilliant. Give it up. Let's wave. Nice one. Give it up for Frances Pickard. All right, Fra. All right, Fra. Nice one. Hey, Eileen, is Eileen there?
I'm here.
There she is. You're in the screen beside Frances on my screen, which is perfect. Eileen is from the Women's Centre, the Shankill Women's Centre. Am I right?
You are, yep. I'm missing the square. I'm missing the square. Lovely day.
But
Lovely
we're here.
day.
We're still together. We're still together.
They're still together.
New square.
The square. I don't think my pains would allow me to do that.
The Shankill Women's Centre is famously good. I've heard loads of things about it. Is there anything you want to tell us, Eileen?
Well, the Shankill Women's Centre's one of the longest, not the longest, but it's been going for 35 years, you know, so we were there long before the Good Friday Agreement, and you know, there's a phenomenal thinking that, you know, it was a Good Friday Agreement made everybody friends, but I have to say the women's movement and the women's sector were friends a long time before the men actually caught on to it. So, and we've been very successful over the years, and hopefully within the next 2 years, we will have a brand new women's centre right on the interface, and it's going to be the shared women's centre because of where it's going to be placed. So, but you know, in this game, you have to have a sense of humour, as you can see with the way people are dressing themselves up. And Danielle, we got these lovely t-shirts. Ulster says now. I had about 4 or 5 t-shirts on this morning, and I was going to do a Helen Crickard and just pull the t-shirts off one by one, but it was absolutely sweltered, so I decided not to because I couldn't cope with all that. And then I got a new t-shirt and fight for the things you care about, and I think that's what the whole philosophy is of women, is that we fight for the things that we care about. So
well said, Eileen. That's the way to finish. Fight for the things you care about. Brilliant, and that's why we're all here. Can I fly over to Emma Campbell? Emma Campbell is an artist and a serial rights campaigner. I never heard that term before. Is Emma there?
Yep.
She is. Thanks, Ellen. Oh, there, I see Emma. Emma Campbell. Talk to us, Emma. Oh, she's talking, but we
I was trying to unmute myself, and it's let me.
She's unmuted. Well done, Emma.
It wasn't letting me unmute myself.
Oh, you're here now. We can hear you. We can all hear you.
Hi, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. So we've got a few of the our placards in the background, if you can see. We've got the airfare one, we've got some pro-choice one, we've got some of the activists there. Another sunny day where we were outside like it could have been today. Everybody's raging. We would have been soaked if we had gone out in person. So we've got 1,000 people, almost 1,000 people got access to abortion treatment in Northern Ireland this year and didn't have to travel. So hooray for that. But there's still loads and loads we have to do, and it's because of everybody here and everybody associated with everybody here that was able to happen. So happy International Women's Day, everybody. And also
ooh.
Crush phallic imperialism. That's a good one. Crush phallic imperialism. I'm going to get that tattooed on my backside. Thank you, Emma. And well done, Alliance for Choice. Nice one. 1,000 women. Progress is happening. Okay, right, next up. Actually, and I'm keeping an eye on the clock, and we're doing very well for time, everybody. This is good. I am very pleased to introduce our next performer. It's actually a pre-recorded video. Her name, a lot of you will have heard of her. It's Ursula Burns, the world's most dangerous harpist. And I've hosted loads of shows featuring Ursula. And when you introduce her, it's quite difficult. If the audience don't know what they're thinking, what the hell are you on about, a dangerous harpist? And then when you come back on after Ursula, the whole place is just in a riot. They're all rolling around the place and you can't control them. So it's always a challenge. So I am glad that I am hosting her from the safety of my back kitchen, and it's a pre-recorded video. It's going to make things way easier. Can I now get Alan to hit play on Ursula Burns, the world's most dangerous harpist?
My name's Ursula Burns, and this is my song about being born in Belfast. Floating in space, floating in peace, floating in love, floating in joy, growing, 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 promises, chinks of light, promises of muffled sounds, comfort darkness, comfort darkness, comfort darkness, swelling love, break, 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 push, 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 break, push, breathe, gasp, slap, breathe, gasp, slap. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Not here, not here, not here, not here, not. Oh, what's this? There's been a mistake. There's been a mistake. I can't be born here. I can't be born now. It's 1970. It's the Falls Road. They're killing each other out there. Put me back. Put me back. I need to speak to the boss. Who's in charge? I need to speak to God. God? God? Where are you, God? Why did you go away? You were here a minute ago. I was meant to be born in Honolulu with parents who practice yoga and eat organic baby food all day long, with the trees and the flowers and the birds and the bees, not with the bombs and shootings and killings and curfew. At 7 o'clock, my mother, she used to soak the towels in vinegar and put them round the windows to stop the tear gas from getting in. But it doesn't really matter because they blow in the windows anyway in the land of the carry cot. Don't leave me here. No, no, no. Oh my God. I'm going to grow up with a Belfast accent. They're going to feed me Ulster fries. I'm going to be 25 before I realise I don't have to be plastered drunk. Don't leave me here. No, no, no. Oh, oh, they're going to inject me. Oh. So, I'm going to also sing you a song that I wrote for my son. A beautiful little lullaby about putting him to bed. My little boy, he asking me, Mommy, what's the difference between heaven and hell? Oh, my little child, there's no difference that I can tell. Now close your eyes and go to sleep. My little boy, ask me again, Mommy, what's the difference between heaven and hell? Oh, my little child, there's no difference that I can tell. Now close your eyes and go to sleep. My little boy, ask me again, Mommy, what's the difference between heaven and hell? Oh, my little child. There's no difference that I can tell. Now close your eyes and go to sleep. But the only difference I can see is the children in heaven get the Wi-Fi code. Yes, the children in heaven get the Wi-Fi code. Yes, the children in heaven get the Wi-Fi code. So be a good boy and go to sleep for mommy. G-O-D 1, 2, 3 with a small G. Bye. Bye.
Yeah! Children and the Wi-Fi code. Good on Ursula, I love it. What a genius. Here, I see some people are busy doing the colouring in. I've been doing my colouring in. Who's been doing their colouring in? I hope there's some colouring in. That's coming soon. Before, just be on standby because we're going to have a look at some colouring soon. But can we talk to Robin Scott? Are you there? Robin Scott, who's been doing a lot of mountain climbing lately. Are you there, Robin?
Are you Robin? No, different
no,
Robbie.
No. Robbie, Robin.
No.
Maybe Robin Scott isn't here.
I don't think we have a Robin Scott today.
Oh, maybe Robin is
Up a mountain.
Yeah, because she works with the Committee for the Administration of Justice, so that would have been good. But she's not here. Well, never mind her. All right. Hey, let's look at some colouring then, will we? Is Sonia Mcmullen there from the Women's Resource Development Agency?
Megan? Is Megan there? Megan is there. She's under WRPA. Yeah.
We have Megan.
I will stand in. I am.
Okay, we got okay, brilliant. All right, Megan. Oh, hey, Megan, you're the quiz queen.
That's a very nice title, and I accept it graciously. But it is a joint title that I must hold with Danielle Roberts from Here NI, because this year the IWD quiz is a joint effort between Women's Resource and Development Agency and the great folks over at Here NI. The quiz will be happening on the 12th of March, which is next Friday. It's kicking off at 7 p.m. There's not going to be any need for teams, so if you're on your own, that's grand. Come on ahead. There's plenty of prizes to be won, so still a great quiz. And we'd be encouraging everybody to come to that. If you want to sign up for it, you can go on to either WRDA's Facebook page or Here NI's Facebook page, navigate to the events tab, and that will take you through to Eventbrite. And we're very, very excited. We're going to be using Kahoots for it, so hopefully it'll be a really good night. But yeah, so that's Friday the 12th of March at 7 p.m.
Yeah. So last year my team came third in the quiz. So I am turned to quiz master this year. Yeah, it was a brilliant night last year. We also were going to have a bit of entertainment on the night from Girls Rock School. So between rounds to try and recreate that feeling of all being together and having a pub or a quiz upstairs in the Sunflower. We're going to have Betsy Scullion from Girls Rock School doing a few songs in between rounds. So yeah, it's going to be great. So hopefully see you all there, and you can play with people that you're in your household with or in a bubble with, or you can choose to play against each other. Up to you, but we're not responsible for any arguments, any fallout from if you decide to play as a team and somebody hits Mary Wollstonecraft when they were supposed to hit Mary Shelley. Not up to us. So yes, hopefully see you next Friday.
Friday the 12th. Hey Danielle, while we have you, tell us about the kids packs that were sent out. Because we're going to look at some colouring in. Tell us, guide us there, Danielle, on the kids packs. I got one.
Yep, so we had a kids pack sent out. Helen and I did a bit of an assembly line with masks and social distancing to make them up. So we have bookmarks in there, which is scratched off the behind. They all have I just had my glamorous assistant who's still in my dressing gown, handing me one of the books that we've got. Yep, you've got one too. So they are bilingual books challenging gender stereotypes. Most people have got English and Spanish, but a few people, potentially, if there's triplets in the house, also got a German or a French version or an Italian version as well. So we've got.
Can I read out my favorite line from that book? Yeah. Dad confirmed our suspicions. Ladies are always clean. They don't run in the garden or jump in puddles or shout like Indians or look for aliens. Being a lady sounds very boring. Oh, that was good. Okay, sorry, Danielle.
Yeah, you haven't done your bookmark yet? No, you haven't.
No, I haven't. But I did all the other things. Who else? Who else got a kids pack? Come on, let's see. We're gonna go. Is Geraldine Burns there, or Jennifer Hanratty? Jennifer Hanratty, I know you're there. Oh yeah, let's see some colouring in. Let's focus on Jennifer Hanratty, and then Colette Casson. Is Colette Casson there? Stand by. But Alan, let's highlight Jennifer Hanratty first. Oh, I see more. Okay, we're gonna go through and let's have a look. Where is Jennifer Hanratty? I've lost her now on our screen. Oh yeah, I see her. She's waving. Can we hear you? Can we hear Jennifer? That's on.
There we go.
Yeah, let's unmute.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, Emer's very concerned because she wanted more time to finish it. She doesn't want to show you yet until she's done.
Well, that's fair enough.
They want it to be done when because they want to color it in nicely.
Yes.
Nice. Well, fair enough. Well, we're going to come back to you. Can we go see someone else? Is Geraldine Burns there? Oh yeah, look, we've got you. Geraldine, let's have a look. Did you do that all by yourself, Geraldine? Did you? Because you did a very good job.
I had to help my 2-year-old grandson, so I did. So it's a combination of the both of us now, and it's obviously I discovered his favorite color is yellow. Yes, it is. But it was great. He loved it, so he did. Now, and there, of course, there was social distancing going on.
Oh yes, we believe you, Geraldine. We believe you.
Yes.
Good job, Geraldine, and your 2-year-old grandson. Let's flick over to Amy Merrin. I see a really good colouring in here by Amy Merrin. Amy, I'm gonna unmute you.
Okay.
Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello.
And what do you say? Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Look at this. This is good. Get it right up to the camera there, Amy Merrin. That is some savage colouring in. I love it. Let's give that a wave. Look at that. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Who else have we got? Who else has got some colouring in? Let's flick around. If you've got some colouring in. Oh, Jennifer Hanratty. Let's go back to Jennifer Hanratty because this looks very great.
There's Sarah, one of my nieces.
Oh, hey.
Going off her colouring in.
Have I gone over to Justine, am I?
Hi, happy International Women's Day.
Happy International
Women's Day. Carl Smith just wrote in, these packs are so good. They really are. I've lost track of who's speaking. I can't find the highlight.
There was a few activities in there as well. We had the difference.
Oh yeah, for the difference.
Yeah. Hopefully you have some fun with those. Yeah, and the books are by Virginia from the Feminist Shop, so you can check them out online. And if you do want to explore other languages, it comes in a few different ones. I see lots of comments in the chat saying about how they're great, and any for the adults, unfortunately not. But
adults can do colouring in as well.
Yeah, but we didn't have.
I did my colouring in. Look, see, she was this chick here was a bit of a no. Where is she? This side. She's a little bit ahead of her time.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one is from Ulster. She's good. And this one here, where she didn't get the color code memo.
Oh, but that's okay. Those colors are good too. Those are.
The rest of them are in purple and green, but I relate to her. Okay, Colour packs, thanks for those. Thanks, I'm going to do them. We still need to go back to Jennifer Hanratty and see that completed picture. Can we highlight? We're going to unmute Jennifer.
Just show what we've got. Just show what we've got.
Oh, that's really good. Oh, whoa! Yeah, I can't wait to see that when it's finished. That's garbage colouring in. I love all this colouring in. Okay, it's time for some more music and comedy by the she is one of my favourite performers and comedians. She's got a show coming up in the Ulster Hall, I think in November, but she's going to tell you about that. I've had her guesting here in my kitchen on my YouTube show. You're going to love her. If you haven't seen her already, you're in for a treat. It's Emer Mcguire. Let's hear it for Emer Mcguire.
Hi everyone, my name is Emer Mcguire and I want to say a big thank you for having me as part of International Women's Day. I know the theme is the new phenomenal and I think it's really important to say a big thanks to all the phenomenal women that we have working in all sectors, particularly through the pandemic. So people from healthcare to homeschooling to people working in shops, basically all the people who have really got us through the difficult time that we have had with the pandemic. And I'm hoping that my contribution today will put a little bit of a smile on a few faces, because I know everyone's struggling during the pandemic, everyone's having a difficult time, but laughter is one of the things that has been shown to be good for our well-being and good for the brain. So I'm hoping today I can cheer up your brain and make you feel a little bit better. I'm going to sing one or two of my comedy tunes. Now, as the theme is the new phenomenal, and it's International Women's Day, I thought I'd sing about my sister, who is a phenomenal woman, who has very much taken up her space in an amazing career in a typically male-dominated area. So she works in IT. Now the thing is, just because my sister is phenomenal doesn't mean that I can't take the hand out of her for comedy's sake. So basically the backstory here is that my sister works in IT. She's a software developer, but she basically talks to me like I've never seen a computer before. And the thing is, I'm a millennial, like I probably came out of the womb holding an iPad. So whenever she gives me advice, I like to pretend I have absolutely no idea what she's talking about. So our relationship kind of consists of me calling her up for IT advice and asking her about IT issues and her asking me ridiculous questions. So I decided to collate all of our conversations into a song as a little bit of an ode to my sister. So this is Computer Guru and I really hope it makes you smile. Sitting at my desk and feeling so bereft. Right in front of me was the blue screen of death. I call up my sister, she'll know what to do. A software engineer, a computer guru. Now I say guru, but I say that very lightly, because despite her qualifications, she never gets it right. See, all she does is ask a ton of questions through a muffled yawn and says, I don't know, Emer, have you tried turning it off and on? Actually, I'd never thought of that, said no one ever. And I know that you IT folk are very clever, but my sister likes to ask me that stuff every single time. Is it on at the plug? Is your router online? And so I called her up to help me with my latest problem, my blue screen of death issues, to see if she could solve them. I prepared myself then for her onslaught of questions, computer genius language, and technical suggestions. Here are actual conversations that we have had. She asked me, is your monitor working? What happens when you print? Have you cleared your cache? I said, I have indeed, I'm skint. Is your router working? Is your signal being carried? Is your Wi-Fi turned on? I said, you know I'm not married. She asked how are my cookies? I said they're pretty sweet, a wee bit too good if you ask me, calorific but hard to beat. She asked if I had a certificate to validate my site. I said just one for swimming 200 meters in 1999. Tell me what to do, my computer guru. Did I receive malicious emails? Any to announce? Well, I did get a few wee bitchy ones there from Deborah in accounts. And what about my data? Was it all on a hard drive? When I say it's on my desktop, she acts like I'm deprived. Do I have enough memory? As far as I recall. Do I have enough RAM? No, I'm not into sheep at all. Did I use an antivirus? Did I use protection? I said the doctor said that there were no signs of infection. Tell me what to do, my computer guru. And suddenly a light bulb goes, total realization. Of course she knows the fix. She's a computing sensation. She looks to me with tears filling up her eyes. I don't need to say it. She knows she's so wise. She looks at me and says, there is just one thing left to do. And if this doesn't work, I'm no computer guru. Now I'm out on a limb here, Emer, just thinking on my feet. But try and see if this works. Control-Alt-Delete. Thank you very, very much. I hope that kind of cheered everyone up, and I hope there are a couple of computer gurus out there. So this next tune that I'm going to do, it's a little bit of a tune that is kind of about how we all have been experiencing things during the pandemic. So I don't know if anyone else is the same as me, but I was sitting in my house one day and I could hear this kind of noise, this kind of sound, and I just thought to myself, what is that? That's really annoying. It's very, very irritating, and I kind of hadn't really realised how irritating the sound of my partner's breathing was until we've been kind of working together and stuck in the house and stuck in lockdown together. And I started to notice all these things that I was irritated by and all these things other people around me talked about and spoke about. And I decided we're going through this collective experience, and I thought it would be a good idea to put all the things in a song and to talk about them from a working from home point of view, because I know everyone has kind of been experiencing that at the minute. This is working from home. Working from home, feeling alone, kids are screaming 9 a.m. already. Time for your next Zoom meeting, is wearing pajamas still a no-no? Wanna throw your laptop out the window? Your boss is understanding, tells you just to do your best. They know that you're stressed, but they still want you to work on their virtual desk. Homeschooling, who am I fooling? I don't even understand this. It's a global pandemic. Do we really need Pythagoras? Times tables, famous fables, 8 by 4 is 17. Teachers need a medal, all I have is gin and caffeine. The only thing my kid will learn during homeschool time is that he's smarter than me, and I've got 2 degrees, and he's 8. Working from home, feeling alone, kids are screaming 10 a.m. already. Time for your next Zoom meeting, is a shower still essential? I wonder, is my crisis existential? Dog growling, you're scowling, can't get any peace and quiet. Might as well head to the fridge for your indulgent lockdown diet, which basically kind of consists of delicious snacks every hour on the hour. But sure, in the grand scheme of things, we're in a pandemic. And to be fair, I think we're all in the same boat. I just really love dairy milk. Working from home, feeling alone, kids are screaming 1 p.m. already. Time for your next Zoom meeting. How is Sandra's living room nicer than mine? Hang on, Stephen, are you drinking a wee glass of wine? The camera angle is unflattering at best. How's everyone dressed while I'm late to my desk? Well, kitchen table. Working from home, feeling alone, kids are screaming 2 p.m. already. Time for your next Zoom meeting. So many things I cannot comprehend, like the fact the dishwasher is full again. Did we always eat this much? Yeah, just use a wee paper plate for your lunch there, love. Yep. What is chicken curry? You can't use a paper plate, no. Eat it from your hands. PE with Joe, how about no? I don't want to sweat around my living room or do yoga via Zoom making sourdough. Oh, why though? Should be working, but instead I'm burning banana bread. You miss your colleagues, you miss your office, they miss you. But when this is through, you'll all have the maddest staff too. But until then, Microsoft Teams, quarantine dreams, all these apps that are new to me. Another night on house party, lockdown lingo, online bingo, dodgy haircut, DIY, it's good you have to stay inside. Even if we're all just working through a screen, you're still a team, smashing it through quarantine. Working from home, but you're not alone. Let's try keep each other's spirits high. See you on the other side. Thank you so much, everybody, and I hope you have a fantastic International Women's Day. I'm Mcguire. Thank you.
What a legend! What a genius! Oh, I love her, love her, love her, love her. Can we fly to Katrina Mcdonald? Are you there? Katrina Mcdonald from Homeless Period.
Oh
I hear you're on. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Oh, I'm on.
Have I been off mute this whole time? I'm so sorry.
No, there you are. You're on, Katrina. Hello, Katrina. Everyone wave at Katrina.
Hiya.
Hiya. Tell us quickly, because actually no one's had the clock yet, but we are getting tight in time and we've more to do. Tell us what you do.
Okay, so got the badges on. As you can see, got repping Alliance for Choice here as well, but mostly Homeless Period Belfast. We are a volunteer-led campaign campaigning for free period products throughout NI. We also create period packs for people in need, and we rely on the wonderful public to donate. And on top of that as well, we open conversations on all things periods and menstruation. And we were really successful this year with our campaign call, Menstruation Matters campaign call, with schools, and there will be free period products in all schools by September 2021. So the campaign is still going. We're calling for free period products in all public spaces. And Anna from Homeless Period Belfast here has one of our placards from last year, which says, "Don't discriminate against those who menstruate."
Brilliant. I lost my video and I missed the last bit. God, you're having a right laugh there. What did I miss?
Sorry, just our placard from last year that we had at the rally. It says, "Don't discriminate against those who menstruate."
Excellent. That was worth bringing up there a second time. Thanks a million. Give it away for Katrina Mcdonald. Good work. Good hustle. Good hustle. Look, isn't the beauty of having a rally on the square in your house that you can go make a cup of coffee? Oh, I'm not the only one. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Hey, can we talk to Eva Carson? Are you there, Eva? Do we have Eva? I don't hear or see anyone. Maybe we don't have Eva.
No, I don't think Eva's joined us.
Do you know who I want to talk to? And I see her there for definite. Kelly Turtle.
Yes.
Hi, Kelly. Just say hello.
Hi.
Hi. Because remember, this is years ago, we did that Sunflower Festival gig. Do you remember when we did that tent?
Yes. And
Stuart turned the kettle off. That's good.
I'm sorry. Like literally as you came to me, my husband started making coffee.
Yeah, shut up, Stuart. No one wants to hear you. We want to hear Kelly. Do you remember that gig?
Anyway, what are you saying?
We did the Sunflower Festival. We were on that. And the weather was so bad. The weather was so bad, you had to like tape yourself into your tent. Like we got blown off the first day. And it was a funny stage and a funny crowd.
Well, I just remember that
it was a tough gig.
Yeah, the promoter told us, I was on at 9 o'clock in the evening. He was like, the kids will all be gone by then. So I had all my edgiest material.
I know, and the kids
it was
were
full
all
of children.
I know.
I'm really enjoying this today, Leonie, and you're doing a fabulous job hosting. And I've had tears at different points. It's just so amazing to see everyone and to be part of this. It's my 10th year in a row at International Women's Day rally, and it just feels, I'm sad that we're not there in person, but it just feels so huge and monumental to be able to see everyone after the year that we've all had. And this is my banner for the day. We are phenomenal. These are some of the campaigns that are, where are we? Reproductive justice now, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, childcare.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. Here, we're going to go to France because there's someone here from France whose name I can't pronounce. Azir.
Yeah, come on, Azir. Where are you?
Where's Azir? Say hello. You don't have to talk for long. Just say hello, Azir. Say what's up from France. Let's unmute her. Unmute yourself, Azir.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Really nice to see everyone, and you can pronounce my name Isa. But it's okay, I love it. Like, As you want.
Okay, great. As you want, Zura.
As you want.
Yeah. Can we get a quick hello from Alexa Moore? Unmute yourself. Thank you, Azura. Give her a wave.
Happy International Women's Day. I come bearing placards. Sending all of the love and solidarity from the trans community and from Transgender NI. You know, this is one movement, we're all together, and I wish we could be marching today. It's such a beautiful day for it. I miss you all so much. Smash the system. All of the love.
All of the love. Thank you, Alexa. Thank you. I love this symbol. I have it on my t-shirt too. And my friend Paula O'Reilly embroidered that. I love it. I love it.
It's stunning.
It's stunning. Thank you, Alexa. Well said. It is stunning. You're right. This is great. And here we were supposed to have Rosie Fagan play ukulele, but the flaky bitch hasn't showed up. Oh. What's your problem, Rosie? Get out of bed. Oh. I mean, we're crying out from here. Can I? I'm off the running order, but can we quickly go to Kylie? Because Kylie, it looks like she's been really busy. Kylie, tell us what you're doing, because I can't help but see your screen, and it's like you're wiping. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Totally cleaning my kitchen while I'm doing this. This is great. Finest.
I saw you, Kylie. I was like, that bitch is wiping a counter.
Absolutely. Has to be done. I've got 2 and a dog to go out and walk later this afternoon. So, you know, making use of my time this morning.
You're busy. It's multitasking. That's cool. You're allowed. Can we go to Anne McVicker? No, before we go to Anne McVicker, can we speak to Jane Robb, who's going to tell us about tool lending? I love tools. I want to talk to Jane Robb. Yes, there she is. All right, Jane, let's talk to tools.
Okay.
Thank you, Kylie. We're waiting for Kylie. And now we're over to Jane Robb.
Okay. I'm not the tool library. I am the Repair Cafe Belfast.
Oh, okay, I got my notes wrong. My bad.
Yeah, no, you didn't. No, it's fine. It's just, it just slight mix up. But they do come to repair cafes and help repair tools.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a volunteer with Repair Cafe Belfast. It's been going now just over 3 years. It was started by 2 phenomenal young women, one of which was my daughter, but Lee and Chris. And we work on a pop-up basis. We've been all over Belfast. They're now supporting other places throughout Northern Ireland to start up, and Castlewellan, Donaghcloney, Portadown. We're just going to have their first repair cafe when lockdown happened. And I was on the verge of getting support for one in Whitehead. Anyway, so they work on the basis of it is about repair, of course, and it's about circular economy supporting that, but it's also about building community. And if you ever get a chance to go to a repair cafe in the Belfast area, or where one might start up elsewhere, it is magic. It is just magic. People will come. We're usually on from about 10 to 1. It's all done on a pay what you can afford basis. You might be able to afford nothing, fine. And we're all volunteers, all the fixers, sewers, guys and that who work with electrics, bikes, electronics. We had a woman at one we had in Cultureland who worked in leather work, like saddlery. And she lived around the corner, so she popped in and did some fixing of leather handbags. And it's it's like very sort of, if you've got some, come along, So, and it's also based on shared leadership, and Leigh and Chris find that really useful, the 2 of them. And it's about raising awareness of skills that we have in the community that already exist, sharing the skills and sharing the knowledge. And it's a family event, anybody, everybody, and people will come from 10 to 1 and stay the whole time, even though they might come in at 10, get something fixed. They'll hang around to talk to people. And the cafe part is that we make stuff, and we offer tea and coffee and all the rest of it, and on the same basis, pay what you can afford. And it's just magic. if you ever get a chance, come to one.
We'll all be there. Nice one, Jane. Thanks a million.
Cool.
Oh, that sounds great. Community skills and leadership. Bam. I'm into it. And here, let's fly over. We've got 4 minutes left, technically, and we're going to go over to Anne McVicker, who's famous for talking. Where are you, Anne? Anne, who's the head of the Women's Resource Development Agency. Can we have a quick word from you, Anne?
Everybody.
There she is. Hi, Anne.
Yay.
Yay.
And I'm also feeling on top of the world today because I got my first job. So I'm feeling great. And my placard, I'm wearing my placard. There it is. So, and a big shout out to all the phenomenal women out there, and especially those in WRDA, most of them who are here today. So let's roll, and you're doing a brilliant job, Leonie.
Oh, thanks, guys. All right, it's easy. This is easy. I mean, you're all waving, you're all smiling. The vibe is great. This is an easy gig. I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? But this is great. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you, Anne. Is that your point? Jeez, that was quick. Anne, you finished. She's done. Give it up for Anne.
I thought you said that you only had 4 minutes left.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. You were super quick. Nice one.
I'm just trying to play along with you there.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. And now if we have Karen Sweeney, head of the Women's Support Network. We want to hear from Karen. Yes, she there?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Karen. Yes.
Happy International Women's Day, everybody. Big shout out to everybody on here, all phenomenal women. I didn't have my placard, so I decided to do a bit of painting this morning. And never say it's easy to mix a color purple. It's not. It works. It really. So I've got my painting on display. I want to give a big shout out to all the women centres, all the workers, all the childcare, phenomenal women who worked all through the last year when other things were shut down. And a big shout out to the staff and volunteers in rape crisis. Katrina's on here. And to my own staff, Siobhan, who's on here, and all the other women's organisations, WRDA, our Projects Reclaim, The Agenda, Alliance for Choice, Here and I, everybody, Transden, all our friends that work in the policy group, just about everybody. We're all brilliant and having a great day. And you know what's so annoying? It's dry and sunny. It's dry and sunny, and we should be out together. Who's for the sunflower or the John Hewitt then afterwards? Where are we going? Nowhere.
Thank you, Karen. Let's remember, Karen. You said it all. You summed it up brilliantly. The weather is nice. Get over it, guys. Get over it. It's good. We'll have good days out again. Thank you, Karen. Mention everybody. And quickly, I'm just going to go to Linda Walker. Do we have Linda?
Hello.
Linda, the grand mammy of activism in Belfast. Are you Linda? Give us a few words.
What words?
Any words you like.
Well, as we come marching, bread and roses, sisters. So I was thinking about the nurses that have been given 1% pay rise. It's absolutely disgusting. So, but anyway, as you say, it's a great day, and maybe next year we'll have good weather as well. So
we'll keep fighting.
Hey, I've got my badges on. I've got my seat badges and all. So.
And Linda, you have a lovely, friendly-looking man beside you there. I like him.
He'll do for a man, you know.
I'll do for a man.
He's good for a man.
I have to say that the all of them pictures, all them photographs, we're doing a book, you know, and they're all hopefully all going to be in the book. Not all of them, but a good few of them are going to be in the book. 11 years work of Reclaim the Agenda. So
wow, brilliant! It's brilliant, isn't it? Well done, well done. Thank you, Linda. Good to hear from you. Good to hear your voice.
Right on.
Thank you. And as a finish, because we've kept this to time. We've nearly kept this to time. But I want to hear quickly from Deirdre McKenna, the artist who made the procession banner. The procession banner that 3 years ago toured the UK in the 100 years of the women's vote, the celebration. Am I saying where is?
I'm not sure she's here.
Maybe Deirdre McKenna, the artist, isn't here. That's a pity because.
Oh, she's on the University of Atypical.
Oh.
Oh, nice one, Helen. Thank you.
Hiding.
Wave at Helen Crickard, because I haven't given her a mention. And Helen's the woman I've been dealing with organising the whole thing. Helen, who's RTA. Give it up for Helen. before we wrap this up, and we're going to hear quickly from. Have we got Deirdre McKenna highlighted it?
Here she comes. Here she comes.
Oh, there's Deirdre.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see everybody here today. And I love all the costumes and backgrounds, and everybody looks amazing. And yeah, I just want to say hi from International Women's Day from University of Atypical. And yeah, I see that there's a lot happening, and we're excited to be part of it. And obviously the voices of disabled women are here too. And yeah, we just want to share the love.
Thanks, Deirdre. You're amazing. The banner is absolutely amazing. It's been touring the whole UK. So hopefully we'll get it back next year and get it on the streets where it belongs.
Hooray.
The famous banner that you famously made. Here, I forgot to show you this. Look, it's some ovaries.
Oh, lovely. Grow a
Before we go, Helen's partner Martin dropped around a grow a pair of ovaries apron. So I'm going to be wearing this. You know, I like Nandi. I'm going to go out on my street. I'm going to mince around with my apron on and nothing underneath it. That'll get the attention. No brand, nothing. That's brilliant. Hey,
so they were all left over from Array Studios from different protests over the years. I've collected them, and yeah, they'll come in handy now. Having to do this online.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it is handy, isn't it? The future is now. Hey, that's a wrap. We're going to hand it over. But stay online. That's a wrap from me, because we're going to hand over to Rachel Powell. Am I saying her name right, Helen?
Yes, Rachel Powell, the Women's Sector Lobby.
I've got that note. Rachel Powell, and we've got some speeches, so stay online. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for having me as host. I'm honoured. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you to all the speakers. Thanks to Alan Meban, who's been doing all the tech. Thanks to everybody who did their colouring in. Even my boyfriend, who's age 37, he did that last night. Didn't he do very well?
Yeah.
Isn't he a great lad? And now we're going to hand over to the speeches. One massive wave.
Yay!
It's been a great morning. Over to Rachel Powell, and you're going to hear some motivating, inspiring speeches. Let's keep up the good fight.
Hello, my name is Rachel Powell, and I'm the Women's Sector Lobbyist with the Women's Resource and Development Agency. Happy International Women's Day 2021. What a change from this time last year when we were all rallying on the square together, the last major in-person event that we were able to hold before Northern Ireland went into its first lockdown. And I honestly don't think that any of us could have predicted the year that was to follow. But sure luck, we have adjusted, and I'm so glad that you're able to join us virtually today. Reclaim the Agenda is hosting a whole range of events over the next few weeks, all online, with panel discussions on topics such as the 1921 centenary, developments in the struggle to end violence against women, Black Lives Matter, activist workshops, and much, much more. Today, we're celebrating our interactive online rally, where we are so glad that you've been able to join us in your feminist gear and placards in your own homes with your families for today's speakers and entertainment. The theme for International Women's Day 2021 is the new phenomenal. We are here today to celebrate the phenomenal women who make up our society, all contributing to keep our communities going during the new normal over the last year. Danielle Roberts, the co-chair of Reclaim the Agenda, has said, "There has been a lot of talk about the new normal recently, but why should we settle for going back to normal? We have a chance to reshape our society into one that is more equal for everyone, and I couldn't agree with Danielle more. That is exactly why we have chose this theme, the new phenomenal, over the global theme, choose to challenge. Because frankly, we all know that women have been challenged enough over the past year, and we want to focus our International Women's Day on celebrating phenomenal women instead. I was very lucky to get to work with so many phenomenal women over the past year, particularly in developing the Women's Policy Group Feminist Recovery Plan. In this, we have provided a comprehensive roadmap on how to change things for the better in Northern Ireland and create a new phenomenal that celebrates and recognises all of the phenomenal women who have rallied during the pandemic, from healthcare and other essential workers to those women who are homeschooling, caring, volunteering, and all of the activists driving change. So on that note, We have some excellent speakers lined up for today's rally. First up, I would like to introduce the Right Honourable Lord Mayor of Belfast, Frank Mcgire, for some opening remarks.
I'm delighted to be supporting Reclaim the Agenda and the virtual event today to mark the International Women's Day. The new phenomenal is this year's theme, and it is a very fitting one as we celebrate the phenomenal work of women right across the city who have rallied throughout the pandemic to keep our communities going. We have a great lineup of speakers taking part in today's event, and I'm looking forward to hearing from them.
I would now like to introduce Sonia Mcmullen from the Women's Aid Federation Northern Ireland, a woman that I know has worked tirelessly on campaigning on domestic abuse legislation and so much more over the past year.
Thank you to all the phenomenal women who organise International Women's Day here in Northern Ireland every year, and thank you so much for allowing Women's Aid the time to come and speak today. I'm so sorry we're not at the City Hall together in solidarity, but hopefully next year in 2022 we'll be back together again. This year has been a difficult and challenging one for so many people, and for victims of domestic violence and abuse, it has been extremely difficult to access services, extremely difficult to get out of the home. And we have had to adapt our services and Women's Aid to meet the needs of women, children and young people, not only within the community, but also within our refuge and emergency accommodation. We've had to be very innovative, look at all our IT solutions, for example. For an organisation where all of our work is front-facing and face-to-face, we had to really adapt and adapt very, very quickly. The UN launched a report in March of last year calling for all governments to prioritise the needs and safety of women and children. And that was because of the high levels of increase of domestic violence during the pandemic. In Northern Ireland, the same messaging has been coming out as the rest of the UK and indeed the world. Stay at home and stay safe. But we know for those people living with an abuser, they're at higher risk living at the home, and home is not always a safe space. So Women's Aid, through our local Women's Aid groups, we have 8 local groups across the whole of Northern Ireland, and we are open and we are ready to support people. We don't want people to suffer in silence. And what we have really called for is a community and a societal approach. Look out for your friends, neighbours, colleagues, anyone that you think could be at risk. We all have to be really vigilant at this time and try and reach out to those most in need. As I have already said, Women's Aid have had to adapt and be creative in the way that we support, and we continue to do that. We work very closely with voluntary and statutory colleagues to be able to do that. But we also have had a few wins this year in relation to the launch of the Domestic Abuse Bill, or what is now known as the Domestic Abuse and Civil Proceedings Bill. And that, of course, made coercive control an offence. But it was a little bit late, considering this legislation came into place in England in 2015. So we do welcome it, but there were a lot of things within the bill that we didn't get. We didn't get a domestic abuse commissioner. We didn't get a review of our family courts. We didn't get a gendered definition of domestic abuse, and we didn't get a violence against women and girls strategy. So we are calling on all of you, we are calling on everyone to follow our social media campaigns in the coming weeks, where we are launching a petition in relation to Northern Ireland being the only part of the UK, again, that doesn't have a violence against women and girls strategy. And we would encourage all of you to please participate and help us lobby local government to recognise the gendered nature of these crimes. On the 25th of November, we launched our Unlock Your Lockdown campaign here across the whole of Northern Ireland. And it was a campaign really targeting those who haven't reached out for support during this current lockdown. And we really want to promote the services of Women's Aid to get in touch and don't suffer in silence.
Thank you so much for that, Sonia. The work from you and your colleagues in Women's Aid has been absolutely crucial in protecting women from domestic abuse in Northern Ireland. I would now like to introduce Camilla Manju from the Belfast Multicultural Association.
Growing up in a multicultural country, I never considered myself to be a minority or felt that there is anything I could not do or could not achieve. Being in Northern Ireland, I have faced my fair share of racism and racist abuse. I have faced discrimination due to my female identity also. I notice that these forms of oppression come together in many instances. Despite this, I've always had big aspirations and been very ambitious. I will always remember when I was younger, I used to question everything, and my family made me feel there is nothing I could not do. However, in Northern Ireland, there has been instances where I have had people in public spaces question what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be. The reason I am here today is I want to challenge the notion that BME women are vulnerable. BME women are not vulnerable. They are phenomenal. Saying minoritized people are vulnerable infers some kind of inherent weakness or defect. The word shifts the blame to the minoritized individual as opposed to rightfully placing the blame on oppressive system. I am here because I need BME women and girls to understand it is possible for them to have high aspirations and achieve their ambitions. I need them to know the importance of raising issues within communities and putting themselves in places of representation. I want to encourage women to be courageous and be present in all spaces, civic and public, where there is a lack of representation. Otherwise, nothing will change. We need to be in every aspect of the community. We need to be seen, and we need to be really asking those questions and putting ourselves forward in the political arena. That's the only way we can make a change. I mean, when you think about women of color in history, what did they fight? We're fighting the same fight, except this time it's slightly different. Racism and sexism combine to shortchange BME women as they experience multiple forms of oppression. The strict categories of racism and sexism are too broad and do not allow consideration for how these forms of discrimination intersect and frequently interact, coming hand in hand, amplifying inequalities experienced by BME women. A number of BME women in Northern Ireland do not have the opportunity to develop leadership skills for several reasons, including family responsibilities, lack of knowledge about available opportunities, and language barriers, all of which disadvantage BME women. While there has been some progress in recent decades, there's still plenty more that needs to be done to tackle racist and sexist-based discrimination within Northern Irish society and institution, both of which continue to limit BME women. Looking back on my work with BMCA, it reminds me of how women are the backbone of the community sector. I reflect on the work that we have done in the past year, the food bank, the comfort pack, the financial support, supporting homeless shelters, the clothes bank. Our work speaks for what we represent. We represent an intercultural society. Multiculturalism is the coexistence of diverse cultures, where culture includes racial, religious, or cultural groups. What we want is a shared and safe community, one which moves away from relationships that are built on mistrust and defense to relationships rooted in mutual recognition and trust. We need to move away from a society where inequality is entrenched. Social justice, compassion, and empathy need to triumph and give us a glimpse of the society we want to live in and the society we want our children and next generations to inherit. Change can happen. What we need is action. We need to remember that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. BMCA have been extremely grateful for the support we have witnessed. It gives us hope for the future, a shared future, knowing that we belong and we have a place in this community.
Thank you so much for that, Camilla. The work you have done over the past year has been inspiring, especially as you have had to face so many challenges, including the horrific hate crimes against the Belfast Multicultural Association. You are phenomenal. I would now like to introduce Deborah Yapicho, the co-chair of the Unison Regional Women's Committee.
Hello sisters, my name is Deborah Yapicho and I'm a proud trade union activist and one of the joint chairs of the Unison Regional Women's Committee. I was delighted to be asked to speak today on International Women's Day on behalf of those women who work in the health and social care service in Northern Ireland. I think we can agree that 2020 was a year like no other for all of us. And it has been a particularly rocky time for women who are on the front line of our health and social care service, keeping us safe through the COVID pandemic and stepping up to the plate without hesitation. Not to mention the thousands of other roles that women in Northern Ireland carry out in all areas such as retail that have kept our country running over the last year. At the beginning of 2020, staff in the health service had just returned to work after strike action, which had highlighted the fact that National Health Service workers in Northern Ireland were the lowest paid in the UK. We had also brought our real concerns about safe staffing into the public arena. Our communities were very supportive of the action that staff in the health service took, which ultimately led to the return of the Northern Ireland Executive. Just a few short weeks later, we all watched in horror as the coronavirus made its way to our shores, changing our lives in a way that we never thought possible, plunging us into the unknown. The NHS, remember, was already understaffed and underfunded long before the pandemic hit. COVID-19 pushed the system to breaking point, forcing trusts across Northern Ireland to suspend elective operations and delay appointments. 3/4 of our NHS is staffed by women, and we make up the majority of care workers in the independent sector. So it was overwhelmingly women on the front line of the pandemic from the start, working in a health service ill prepared for the battle we were faced with. Right from the start, PPE, the protective clothing that is the barrier between nursing and care staff and patients with COVID, was not fit for purpose because it was originally designed for Caucasian males. We also were not equipped with enough of it right at the start. COVID has meant that many women in all jobs ended up juggling work, homeschooling and caring responsibilities. Schools, nursery closures and the shielding of family members who supported women with childcare brought stark choices between paid work and care commitments, and also presented challenges as women were faced with difficult choices. Many of our members report having to use annual leave and even unpaid leave to cover childcare. Many of our female healthcare members chose to move out of their family homes in an attempt to balance the safety of their children and vulnerable family members with their work responsibilities. The coronavirus pandemic has brought all of these issues into the public arena in a very dramatic way. It has come as no surprise to the Unison Women's Committee that one of the front lines in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic was being fought by our members on the battlegrounds of the private residential and nursing home sector. Care staff in this area literally put their lives on the line as they cared for our most vulnerable citizens, often with minimum staffing and without the PPE, which is seen as essential for employees and residents to stop the spread of the virus. This is further compounded by the fact that despite the tremendous skill and accountability of their roles in private home care settings, frontline workers are almost exclusively on or very near minimum wage salaries. Workers in care homes right in the front line of COVID-19 were also left to exist on statutory sick pay when they became ill. Thankfully, this is a battle that Unison has been able to help many of our members with. It doesn't have to be like this. A decent wage for those in the NHS and the care sector, stronger employment rights in the independent care sector, with greater flexibility and a decent childcare system would help us all to better balance our lives, whatever the circumstances. And change is imperative if we want to kickstart our economy after this crisis. The COVID vaccine could very well be the light at the end of the coronavirus tunnel. As we approach the end of the third surge of the pandemic and reflect on the last year, it is acknowledged that many of our members are exhausted and will need time to recover both mentally and physically in the aftermath of the pandemic. Women have always done incredible things, and they've done it for a really long time. And we will continue to fight for change. For all those phenomenal women on International Women's Day, let's choose to challenge the burdens that fall so excessively on all working women and carry on fighting for a better system for everyone. Thank you, and you enjoy your day.
Thank you so much for that, Deborah. Women have been particularly challenged economically and are overrepresented in part-time, low-paid and precarious work. We need the trade union movement with us now more than ever. I would now like to introduce Nancy Wallach, Board of Governors of ALBA, the Abraham Lincoln Brigade Archive.
Hello, my name is Nancy Wallach. I'd like to thank Reclaim the Agenda for inviting me to share my vision along with this group of phenomenal women on the program today. It's this kind of camaraderie that gives us the boost and the support to keep working for the kind of future we all deserve. I'll never forget the power of the Women's March in 2017, when on the day after the Trump inauguration, over 5 million people around the world gave us the inspiration to keep on fighting as we let the world know that women's rights are human rights and that Trump is not my president. I remember the turnout in New York City being so large, the event being so packed that I literally could not move, not even a few streets over, in order to connect with my friends. And I remember being elated because the phenomena of that physical inability to move in the midst of that sea of men, women, and children moved my spirit and moved me to keep on resisting, to keep on working for a world that would protect a woman's right to choose, a world that would protect a woman's right to join a union, to be free from the danger of mass shootings, and to have access to paid childcare and family leave. I first visited Belfast in 2014, about a month earlier than International Women's Day, when I spoke at an International Brigade Commemoration Committee event to honor the anti-fascists who had set an example of unity and internationalism when fascism first threatened the world in Spain in 1936. Who would have thought that in 2021 we'd be facing down an internal fascist threat led by our then President of the United States of America? and that we would experience a violent attempt to overturn our newly elected government, and that some of our representatives in government would aid and abet the attempted coup. Even as we gather here, the Republican Party is renewing an all-out effort to suppress voting rights in 28 states. How do we answer those who claim that votes only count when a Republican wins? How do we respond to those who try to forcefully throw out the votes of minorities, of women, and of people of color? Here are the stories of a few women whose answer to these threats was to keep on organizing with determination and courage. One such person is Stacey Abrams. In the same way that we showed up in millions for the Worldwide Women's March after the Electoral College imposed Trump on us, so Stacey Abrams chose to move forward after her own close gubernatorial election defeat. Her defeat was the true stolen election. Brian Kemp, her Republican opponent, used his office as Georgia Secretary of State to oversee the racially motivated purge of more than 85,000 votes from the rolls. That setback only inspired her to move forward. Abrams channeled her energy and activism into founding Fight for a Fair Vote in Georgia, which brought about a massive voter registration effort. She worked also to challenge the forced pregnancy bill enacted by Kemp. As the 2020 election drew near, this mission evolved into building grassroots teams across the country to protect the vote. It helped produce the 7 million vote margin that has created a mandate for progressive change. Thanks to Fair Fight's efforts, the first Jewish and the first African American senators from Georgia were elected, putting an end to the Republican Party's stranglehold on national legislation. She helped us all answer the threat of fascism by kicking Trump out of the White House and Mitch McConnell out of leadership in the Senate. But Stacey Abrams said in her official State of the Union rebuttal to Donald Trump, "We do not succeed alone." Abrams and the grassroots activists of Fair Fight did not do it alone. 90% of Black women, more than any other demographic, voted Democratic in the last election. They were also not alone because they were connected to a long tradition of activism led by Black women and also by pioneering Irish American women such as Mother Jones and Elizabeth Gurley Flynn. Today, I would like to acknowledge the work of two phenomenal women of color who helped lay the foundation for Stacey Abrams' work and for the victory for democracy that we are able to celebrate today. The abolitionist Sojourner Truth, who was born into slavery, represented Black women at the first National Women's Rights Convention in 1850 in Worcester, Massachusetts. The following year, in her famous "Ain't I a Woman" speech, she laid out the core argument that fueled voting rights activism for decades, that equal access to the ballot is a matter of human rights. Sojourner Truth fought for freedom and abolition at the same time as she fought for women's rights. She saw their interconnectedness in her own and in all of our lives. In the 1960s, Fannie Lou Hamer, a sharecropper from Mississippi, embodied that same intersection of workers', women's, and minority rights. She lost her job in her initial attempt to vote, but she didn't let that stop her. Once she became aware of her constitutional rights, she not only wanted to use them herself, but even more, she wanted to ensure that others would also benefit. She became a field organizer for SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and later co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. She crisscrossed the country, speaking to Black farm workers about the importance of voting, and like her peer, John Lewis, she was brutally beaten after she let us sit down in South Carolina. Hamer played a large role in helping to bring about the historic Voting Rights Act of 1965. The work of these women who paved the way for today's activists impacted people of all races and genders. Their dedication to moving forward is another thing they share with Stacey Abrams and with all of us who keep on keeping on in the work that lies ahead of us.
Thank you so much for that, Nancy. It is inspiring to hear the work that you have been doing, and it is crucial that we continue to challenge far-right political extremism. I would now like to introduce Naomi Sloan, student at University of Ulster and executive member of the Northern Ireland Youth Forum.
Hello, my name's Naomi and I am honoured to speak at this year's International Women's Day event. As strong women, we have achieved many things, such as the right to vote, greater employment opportunities, and challenge perceptions of what women can do. However, we still have a long way to go. As women, we are viewed as weak. This is especially true for young women with disabilities. As a young woman with a disability, I have been talked down to, verbally abused, and have been seen as a burden on society. In education, teachers set low expectations of what I could achieve. When I asked for specific adjustments to be made, I was made to feel like an inconvenience or a burden to the classroom. If my classroom assistant was sick, I was sent home and was not allowed to attend school. As a result, I was denied my right to education. This is an ongoing issue for young people with disabilities. I am currently studying community youth work at Georgetown University, and only this week did I receive the correct equipment that I am entitled to enable me to study. This is a full semester complete without my specific equipment and software. Despite this, I am determined to succeed. I am a proud member of the Northern Ireland Youth Forum and sit on the executive committee. I also take part in a group called Face to Face for young disabled leaders. I want to be a role model for other young disabled women to show they have power and a voice, so I am making the change I want to see in the world. Today I am calling for you to support the Face to Face group in our campaign Ask 1. I want young people with disabilities to have all the support they are entitled to before they start school or tech. This can include equipment, transport, or emotional support. Ask 2 was that everyone who interacts with young people with disabilities have access to disability awareness training, which respects our right to speak and make decisions for ourselves. And the final ask is that society adopts a model of disability where the society's makeup is seen as the problem and not the person with the disability. Finally, I will say that I identify as a disabled woman has made me stronger. I will stand and fight for what is right and just. I want to add my voice to the call for free sanitary products for women, not just in Northern Ireland, but across the world. I choose to challenge this discrimination. In the words of Judy Heumann, change never happens at the pace we think it should. It happens over years of people joining together, strategizing, sharing, and pulling all the levers they possibly can. Gradually, exclusionally, slowly, things will start to happen, and then suddenly, seemingly out of the blue, things will tip. Let today be the tip onwards to our rights.
Thank you so much for that, Naomi. Young people have been so disproportionately impacted by the global pandemic, and it is absolutely crucial that young women's voices are included. Finally, I would like to introduce Hansa Osofi, founder and member of the Sudanese Community Association.
My name is Hansa Osofi. Originally, I'm from Sudan. I have been here in Belfast for the last 5 years. I came to join my husband, and back home I was working in international organization in human rights, women rights, and issue affecting war victim. When I came to Belfast, first of all, I would like to congratulate all women on International Women's Day. And I want to reassure all the women that I stand in solidarity with all women who are facing difficulty, facing violence in workplace and in institution at home. And I stand in solidarity with women whom are really affected by war. And I pledge to work to end racism, sexism, and congratulations for International Women's Day. When I came to Belfast, I decided that I find it is difficult, and it is hard to come to a country where the language is one of the biggest barriers facing each other. But because I believe in diversity, and I believe in participation, and I believe in human rights and women rights, I bring all the women who feel they are vulnerable. We come together and we establish a group of women we call it Flowers of Belfast, Zahrat Belfast. And from here, I congratulate all the Sudanese women whom in my group, and we come together, we put hands together because we are in foreign country, beautiful country, but foreign for us because the language, as I said, is a barrier. And we decide to stand to each other, help each other, trying to understand the law here, trying to be integrated in the community, and to build relation, and to focus on our well-being and to engage in the community. It was hard because to bring people together and to let them build their own capacity and to empower them, it was really hard. It was not led by me, but it led by all women whom are in the group. And we are trying to be part and parcel from the community. And we were, I think to some extent we are successful. And we take all the opportunity, and we try to be empowered, and we work hard, and we inspire by our success and by the women whom are here take us to the longer way. And we try as much as we can to be part from all the project and all the event taking place for women. And we start the first thing to get our English lesson, which it was the successful steps for all of us. And we are inspired by the great women whom are leading the revolution in Sudan, and we are proud of them. And we came from a community that everything are led by men, but we tried as much as we can to be there, our voice being heard, and we are trying to find our places as women and to use the knowledge. And in my opinion, the key word is in our work together is the knowledge, to know the community which we are being in, and to benefit from all the opportunities, and to participate in the strategic action which is concern us, which is a key point for all of us. And we reflect that in our participation, in our attending the different events. And along the way, there is myself, I inspired by women, great women in my country, whom are leading the revolution. And it was last 2 years. And there is globalization. There is women whom are wearing the white top. The top is the sari, which Sudanese women are wearing it. And it went globally, and we are proud of the lady whom are representing the woman, and it shows how much solidarity all the Sudanese women shown, and we have great women. And this is remind me with my mom, whom was a teacher and whom shaped me and support me, and I learned from her that the key point to be empowered is education, and she let me think out of the box, and she shaped me, and she was a strong woman, and she's always she was telling me that to think out of the box and to provide help to women in different circumstances, and to be without her I will not be Hansa Osofi, and she shaped me, and I miss her. And my mom, her name was Saadi Abdurrahman, and again I congratulate all women and happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Hansa. It is incredible the work you have been doing, and it is inspiring to hear the work of the Sudanese Community Association.
Hi everyone, my name is Mcguire, and I'm delighted to have been asked to give you a message for International Women's Day here in Northern Ireland. So I know Northern Ireland is celebrating the new phenomenal, which is just a brilliant team. So we're looking at phenomenal women who have impacted us, particularly over the last year. So I want to take a minute to appreciate all those wonderful people, all of the wonderful women who've really, really rallied during the pandemic. So obviously healthcare staff, like my partner, my previous colleagues, and the majority of my friends who've done their best to keep us healthy during this really, really scary and weird time. But I'm also thinking about people who have been doing crazy homeschooling schedules, to all the essential workers, those who are working in shops who have kept us moving, who have pulled everybody through this basically. And I really want to say a big thank you to all the artists and the creatives as well, who were sometimes forgotten, but obviously kept us really entertained and kept our brains stimulated with all things beautiful all through the pandemic. So to all of the brilliant women, thank you so much. I couldn't kind of talk about the new phenomenal without mentioning those of you who have pulled us through. So we need to continue to drive change within our community. We need to continue to celebrate and platform women. We need to continue to make our voices heard, and we need to continue to kind of amplify the voices of those who feel silenced or quieted. And I know a lot of people who are watching or listening won't know me. So I'm a musical comedian, an event host, a radio presenter, a science communicator, basically all things that my parents say aren't real jobs. And usually in those roles, I'm very much in the minority by virtue of being a woman. And actually, a month ago, I left my career in speech and language therapy to pursue my more creative career. And the bizarre thing is, as a speech and language therapist, all of my colleagues were women. I didn't have a single male colleague. It's almost an exclusively female profession. So I've gone from a profession that's solely, women colleagues to working with almost all men, which is quite strange for me. But in the more creative pursuits that I have, I really wanted to take up my place in these spaces, and I wanted to be phenomenal, and I wanted to show how brilliant and bright and worthy women are, because to me, I just know that to be true. I just know it as a fact. And I wanted to be visible as a woman kind of in those fields of comedy and in science communicating and in presenting, so that other women and girls can see me and say, hey, that's cool, that's someone who looks like me, I want to be like her, I want to be like that. So they've basically kind of got a role model to identify with. And I wanted to dispel a few of the myths as well that go along with my chosen career path. So I wanted to dispel that myth that all great comedians are men. I wanted to dispel that kind of societal construct that science is for boys, and dispel that myth that the person who's in charge at an event or the person commanding the room is a man. And I want everyone kind of regardless of who they are to have equal footing. So I want us all to really push ourselves forward together, and I want to have a bit of a call to action for people to call out gender bias no matter who you are, call out inequality, and make equality and equality for women the norm. And let's platform each other, let's kind of celebrate all the phenomenal women that we know. So let's celebrate ourselves. And I want to say a really big happy International Women's Day to everyone. Thank you.
What an amazing bunch of speakers that we had today. Thank you so much to all of you for sharing your experiences with us and for the work that all of you have been doing. You truly are phenomenal women. That's all from me, folks. I'd like to say again, Happy International Women's Day 2021. And here is to the phenomenal women upholding our society. If you're tweeting today, please use hashtag the new phenomenal, hashtag IWDNI21, and hashtag phenomenal women. And you can see the rest of our events on Reclaim the Agenda's website. Thank you.